Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to Save Station. Today, we're talking about the NX and all the craziness behind it. And I also have a guest with me today. He's been on before, Marley of Marley D on YouTube.
Hey everyone, happy to be here.
So let's get right into it. The NX is a Nintendo's new console, and it's a pretty crazy thing, but we don't know anything about it. We're just hearing tons of rumors. And we've been hearing rumors, I feel like, for over a year now.
Whispers on the wind.
Yeah. I think they released it. Oh, they didn't release it. They revealed it back in 2015, I think, E3. Was it?
Yeah.
Like Reggie casually mentioned it. He's like, "Oh yeah, we got this
Here's a thing.
MX thing." And then the internet exploded.
I mean, yeah, that's what happens when you reveal something over a year away. Like,
Yeah. So like so what's your like mental state after waiting like a year to finally hear about it and then like them disappointing you and saying they're not going to reveal it at E3 2016 and all that?
honestly, after the E3 thing, I think I'm just tired at this point. Like, I've moved past the point of being able to get excited about it.
Yeah.
Um, and now I'm just tired. I want it to just be out already.
Yeah.
Um, or to at least not be out, but I want to see it and know what it is. I'm sure I'll get more excited once I see it, but like for right now, anytime I hear a rumor, I'm just like, another one.
I
It's DJ Khalid all like another one.
like at first I was like, okay, this makes sense. They're trying to build hype and it's working. But after a certain point, to me, like the hype is starting to go into like overload.
Well,
And
they reached a peak at E3,
yeah,
and now
yeah,
it's like crashing down. Like people are like jumping ship, and just like people are like just like tired of it.
yeah.
They're tired of being jerked around. They're tired. They want to see what it is.
NX rumors are literally coming out like every other day too. Like I'll just Google Nintendo NX and a batch of new like rumors will come up and stuff.
And what
It's
makes it
pretty
even
crazy.
worse is like they're very clearly getting ready for it because there's been nothing for the Wii U. If the Wii U
Yeah.
had stuff coming out, I don't think it would be nearly as bad. But everyone's like, well, you're already slowly killing off this console that I've invested money in, so you better show me what the new one is
Yeah.
so I know what I'm gonna be able to play and buy.
Yeah. And all we've got is the 3DS basically, like
Yeah.
holding us up. And for
But
me,
even then, there haven't been a ton of games coming out for
yeah,
that either.
I'm honestly just waiting for Pokemon Sun and Moon to be honest. Like that's the only thing that's really grabbing my attention right now. And they did just announce that they're having a
Carson,
3DS.
what about
Oh,
Metroid Prime Federation Force?
jeez.
Another installment in the Metroid franchise
In the
that has been
proud Prime
thoroughly and
franchise.
healthily supported by Nintendo.
Yes. The Federation Force game,
Federation Force
it's
and in bargain boxes everywhere.
everywhere. However, to get a little off subject real quick, the very end of that game, spoilers by the way, whoever cares. Um
If you care about spoilers for Federation Force, you probably need to have some things checked out.
so if you care about spoilers, please leave right now. But at the end of Metroid Federation Force, there's a hint of future Metroid things to come.
What is it?
There's a bounty hunter, I forget his or her name, but he or her or him, they're going to be going after Samus. They have some sort of vendetta against her.
Oh wow.
And at the end, it shows him like collecting a Metroid. So
So
it's
the
like
Metroids are back.
it's like really mysterious too. And apparently, it's the same bounty hunter at the end of Metroid Prime Corruption. It shows Samus leaving the planet, and then
Oh,
there's the same bounty hunter is like shows him kind of like following her.
oh cool.
So I'm hoping that's a sign that we're getting more Metroid.
NX launch game.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. And I hope it's not just like a sequel to Federation Force. Like I don't know why they would ever do that. So, oh gosh. So with all the rumors, it's been getting pretty crazy for sure.
Yeah.
So as I said before, Nintendo said they would reveal the NX, like they're going to be doing it later in the year since they missed E3. Well, it's later in
They didn't miss E3. They chose.
the
They
That's true. That's true.
optionally made the mind-boggling decision to not do E3.
Right. And I can't wait to hear their reasoning if they ever let us know. Um
It's
but
Nintendo. They're not gonna let us
so
know.
like at E3 they're like, "Okay, we're going to reveal it later in the year." Well, it's later in the year now.
Much
Uh
later, in fact.
yeah.
In
And
fact, the year is a little over halfway done.
what happened I think on Monday was all of a sudden there's this cryptic message on Facebook, Nintendo's Facebook page. They're like, "Reggie's
Reggie
got
has
a
an
announcement
announcement.
that's out of this world." And I'm like, "NX?"
Cold NX reveal on their
Cold NX
Facebook
reveal
page in
on
the middle
Facebook.
of the afternoon.
I was thinking maybe, he might be announcing that there's going to be an event coming up or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, come on, NX, finally. But no, it's the new 3DS
Galaxy skin.
Galaxy skin theme, and it's available now. I was like, okay, you know,
They totally knew what they were doing.
oh yeah. And then today we get an announcement that, oh, we're having a Nintendo Direct that's 3DS themed.
3DS themed.
And I'm like, this makes no sense whatsoever.
So, toying with our emotions aside, I will say that 3DS is gorgeous.
It does look good, yeah.
It looks really cool, and if I wasn't like 100% sure there was gonna be a Pokemon one,
Yeah.
I'd get this one. But there's gonna be a Pokemon one, and um, in regards to the 3DS Direct, I have a feeling I know what that Direct's gonna be.
Pokemon?
So I think it's gonna be a little bit of Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be about the update coming out because there's gonna be an amiibo update for New Leaf.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
I have a feeling it's gonna be a little bit of that, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a celebration of the 3DS
Oh.
and a goodbye.
Dude,
Like oh
that that's a great idea,
like a
actually.
look back at how successful it's been, some of
Okay.
like the best games to have come out on it. And I don't think they're gonna say it directly in the direct,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling like it's gonna be a retrospective on the 3DS, and it's gonna be a farewell song for it.
So
And
with that,
I think at the end of the video, we're gonna get the date for the NX reveal.
okay. That is a fantastic idea. To me, with all this weirdness, that's the only thing that it would all make sense if that's what it leads up to me. Cuz like
Yeah,
they're doing this 3DS, direct and stuff. We haven't had a real direct in a while either.
yeah.
And all of a sudden we're getting a 3DS direct, and I'm like, "Well, hold on a second. All news sources and stuff are pointing to a NX being a portable device. Why to me is like, why are you revealing all these new things for the 3DS when the NX is like right on the horizon?" Like to me it's like almost like misleading consumers a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
here's this new 3DS that's going to be obsolete in a few months. So if they do what you just said, to me that does make sense.
I, I
They'll be
think
like,
it's
"This is it, and
yeah.
we're gonna reveal the NX maybe later this month, hopefully."
Dude, they have to do it soon. But yeah, I have a feeling I don't think we're seeing anything new coming to the
Yeah,
3DS. I think it's going to be, oh hey, here's a look back at Ocarina of Time 3D, and here's everything we
yeah,
did, and now it's time to move on to the next thing. Thanks for everything you did, 3DS.
yeah. Um, and you know what? Another good point. September marks the 6 month period out from the release window of March 2017.
Hmm.
And in the past, no console has been revealed and then launched under 6 months. Under six
Yeah.
months. Xbox did it in May of 2013, I believe, and then they came out in November 2013.
Hmm.
So to me, like the 6 month period right there, that's perfect. But if you wait past that, it starts getting dangerously close to like all of a sudden it's time to release this thing and you haven't marketed it that much. Like,
Well, that was I forget what Sega console it was, but they cold revealed it at E3 and went, "Oh, it's available in stores now," and
Oh,
no one bought it. You need to give people time to save up for these
did
things.
they do that for Dreamcast?
No, no, it
Okay,
wasn't Dreamcast. It
all
was
right,
it was another
one
console.
of their older ones. Okay,
Yeah, but you need to give people time to save up. Like
yeah,
these these devices aren't cheap. They're not like regularly affordable. People need time
yeah,
to
yeah,
learn about it. They need time to save up money, decide if they want it. Like they need time to learn about it and
yeah.
figure out what games they want to buy. So you need to give people time. I think even 6 months is still cutting it close.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. Like we said before, we all think E3 would have been perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
E3 would have been great.
but
Everyone was
yeah,
so everyone was hyped for Nintendo
yeah,
at E3 up until they said that no NX.
yeah,
Like, and the hype was reawakened with Breath of the Wild, but a lot of people went into E3 just like pretty downtrodden on them because everyone was so hyped up because
yeah,
it's of course you would reveal a console at E3. That just makes a ton of sense.
yep,
And and they didn't do that. Like that was a missed opportunity. So like they need to do it and they need to do it soon, like before September is over.
yeah. Sony has a event scheduled for September 7th, and I think it's not clear exactly what they're going to be talking about. I think they might be talking about the Neo
Yeah.
and the Slim a little bit more and stuff. And there's even been rumors of them talking about their next handheld too, which to me, like the
Are they
Vita,
really gonna keep trying to do that?
that yeah, I know, right? Like to me, I feel like they need to just stop and just focus on their home consoles.
Like I know people love the Vita, but it just didn't take off.
Yeah.
Like the
So
people that have Vitas love them, but
totally, yeah. It's got a great attach rate. Like people buy games that come out for it. There just aren't that many of them out there.
yeah.
Um, so when they're hitting that September 7th day, I feel like Nintendo's probably gonna try and stay away from them a little bit.
They need to stay as far away from I would say they need a solid week or week and a half.
Yeah, yeah. So as of right now, if you had to pick like a week or a day, what do you think you would put down for the NX reveal?
I think they do it the second to last week of September.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good spot.
I think if they do it the last week of September, that's a little too close to October.
Yeah.
Um, and that, but I think second to last week of September is a nice safe spot.
If for some reason they miss September, I still think there's a small chance that in whatever reason they might try and do October. And if they do October, I say early October. Like if for some reason they miss September for whatever reason, I think
Mhm.
October's still on the table a little bit. They could try and do it. But if it slips past September, I really do believe that we might be looking at a situation where the NX launch might be pushed back.
Oh,
I really do. Like
yeah. No, I don't
it's
want it to be true, but you're
yeah.
probably right.
Like and that's when I start thinking about that, I get really frustrated.
Well,
Um
and it's frustrating because here's the problem. So they have a console out right now, but it's effectively dead. Like,
yeah.
sorry everyone, I
Yeah.
love my Wii U. Carson loves his Wii U, but there's no beating around the bush about it. Fanboy or not, you have to admit the system is dead.
Yeah.
Um, there's nothing coming out. There's nothing down the pipeline. At least nothing major or noteworthy. So that's dead. So there's effectively no home Nintendo console on the market in a way.
Yeah.
If it gets pushed back, the longer they don't have a home console out on the market, the less relevant they become,
Yeah.
the more of a chance the NX will be a failure.
Yeah.
And listen, like the way society is now with like phone upgrades and stuff like that, like you can lose relevancy really, really quickly.
Yeah.
It does not take long to people forget about you. Consumers are not as loyal as they once were. The
Totally.
cas the casual gamer is not as loyal as they once were. Like
Yeah.
it's not the way it used to be. So they I I think you're totally right, but I think if they want to play this smart financially, they almost can't miss that March release date.
Yeah. I when I look at it right now, I think there, like you said, there's some serious brand damage that could happen if they keep pushing it back. And we're in a huge, by the way, we're in a huge like console game drought right now because the
Yeah.
Wii U's dead, as you said before. We are not getting any like
Yeah, we
we're not getting any like AAA games from Nintendo.
nope.
First party games, there's nothing coming. And it's reminds me exactly of the Wii U's
Um,
launch, actually.
you can play Super Mario 64 DS
Oh,
on your Wii
fantastic.
U tablet screen.
Oh my
So there's
gosh.
that.
That, that is a good game, but
It's a great game, but I'm
it's
just
been
saying,
out
like,
for yeah, it's been out forever too, right? It's like the funniest thing. Like we have to hang on to these little tidbits that they're giving us, like Mario
yeah,
64.
DS. It's very
It's just
important because you can play as the other characters in that one.
oh fantastic. Dude, it just it reminds me of the Wii U's launch. We got like a few games at the beginning, and then there was this huge drought
Yeah,
till like Pikmin 3 in August of 2013, I believe.
yeah.
So I'm like, so the Wii U started with a drought, and it's going out on a drought.
And like that's fine. Like consoles, when consoles are dying down, they don't have games coming out for them. That's fine. But you usually know what the next thing's
Yeah,
gonna be,
yeah, yep,
and we still don't. We know that there is a thing, but we don't know what it is.
yeah,
Um, or we might know. We'll talk about that later. But it's I they need. I think they need to get they need to get this announcement out by the end of September.
yeah,
They need to.
yeah. So in closing on this topic, I would say mid to late September would be a perfect time to do it. And if you go by that, then you're in trouble. I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty blanket statement we can make.
And they've said it before, they want to make sure that they have a strong launch lineup, which I totally get, but like guys, come on.
Yeah,
They something's got to give. There's got to be a middle point where you can get it out and have good launch games without delaying it further.
yeah, yep, totally. All right. So in regards to the NX being a handheld, that is the popular rumor right now that it's going to be probably a hybrid of sorts. It'll be portable but be able to plug into the TV. And there have
God, I
been
hope that's true. I hope that's true.
so do I. And that's what a lot of the rumors and slash like leaks have been pointing towards.
Yeah.
Anything from like a detachable like side controllers.
And it's for the people have talked about it, but like we got our first credible, our the first like major one came from Eurogamer, and they're a
Yes.
legitimate news outlet. Like
Yeah.
it's not like it was some fan site or some guy on Reddit.
Yeah.
Like this is like an IGN or a GameSpot. Like
Yeah.
they're a credible source. So I feel like they wouldn't publish it unless they had credible sources themselves.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. And a recent leak was by Emily Rogers. Have you heard of her before?
I've heard the name.
So she's kind of like a famous kind of like leaker. She apparently leaked Paper Mario Color Splash before it was revealed.
Oh, okay.
So she has like a little bit of credibility because she did predict a game.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't mean that anything she says is like going to happen necessarily,
Yeah.
but she did predict something correctly. And what she has recently said is that the NX will sport a 6-inch screen with 720p resolution, multi-touch screen, detachable controllers, and they're meant to replace the Wiimotes. It's kind of like the next step
Okay.
in the Wiimotes kind of like evolution. So, what do you think about all that? I personally, the multi-touch screen is like a big step up for me. Like you can finally be a little bit more like get more sensitivity from the screen instead of
Yeah.
just the resistance screen that they've had forever.
Yeah. So it all sounds cool. I wonder how that looks logistically. If it's too cumbersome, people aren't going to want to carry it around with them.
True.
But at the same time, if it's too small, like how effective, how good looking will that be?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Nintendo has made some very odd hardware decisions in the past, so I wouldn't put it past them for them to just create this like clunking homunculus of a thing that you've got to carry around.
Yeah. To me, it sounds a little bit like they might be getting away from the dual screen,
Yeah.
which we've had forever.
Hold
So
on to your 3DSs, everyone, because I don't think the NX is going to be backwards compatible.
probably not. And yeah, that's another thing. There's been rumors saying there's going to be no optic drive, so like no discs. It might be like cartridge based and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which when I say cartridge, it would be like SD cards.
Yeah.
It's we're not talking about N64 stuff.
Game Boy cartridges.
They just go way back in time. We're like, hey
The
guys, we're back.
NX is actually a Game Boy.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's like there's some really interesting things. I personally, if I had it my way, I would love for Nintendo to keep going with a more console centered approach.
Mhm.
Just because I love having some better hardware for better visuals potentially. Like I know that developers love to push their games visually.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, that's a big reason why a lot of the third party devs didn't
yeah,
release on Wii U because it also wasn't selling well, but
yeah,
it artistically they couldn't do what they wanted to do. If you
yeah,
look at the Wii had decent third party support because it sold so well. So it was almost like, well, you're foolish if you don't put something out on this.
yeah,
But with the Wii U, it wasn't selling well, and artistically, the third-party devs couldn't do what they wanted to do. So they were
yeah,
like, "I'm not going to do this. It's not going to be true to our vision of the game."
right.
So I totally feel you there.
Yeah, it's it's tough. Like cuz both of us agree, gameplay's king. Like we're not going to sit here and just nitpick the visuals of a game and say, "Oh, this game is terrible because it doesn't like look the best it could be." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But at the same time, I don't want to like downplay this is a visual medium we're talking about
exactly,
here. So,
exactly. And like, and artists need to be able to express themselves
yeah,
how they want to. I don't mean like in a metaphorical. I mean like literally, like they want you to see the best version of their thing.
yeah, yep. And to be honest, the PS4 and Xbox One are getting very close to being PCs already.
Yeah,
And you could probably argue that they are PCs. And Nintendo's been the only one that's really had, to me, like 100% game console. That's what they've done
yeah.
for a while now. And, like the way that it seems to be trending, like towards the portable, you know what? That's fine. It does mean, though, that it's not going to be very powerful. Like a handheld device in 2016, you could make a powerful device. It's going to be really expensive, though. Like, that's the trade off.
I, because Nintendo's always been about affordability,
Yeah.
but I think the success of the PS4, specifically the PS4, shows people don't mind spending a lot of money on a piece of tech that's worth it.
Did it come out at like $400? Was that the
Yeah,
PS4?
yes.
Okay.
So, people don't mind spending a lot of money on tech that
Yeah.
is cool and that's worth it. I mean, look at the launch of every iPhone.
Yeah.
Like people like cool tech that does cool things. So I know affordability has always been their, the card I guess they've had in their hand
Yeah.
over the other two. The what was the Wii 250?
You know what? When it launched, it was 350.
The Wii was?
Oh, sorry. The Wii U was 350. I believe the Wii was 250.
Yeah, so that was it was super affordable,
Yeah.
but I think if they really want to wow people, they'd be like they come out with this cool piece of tech and they go, "Hey, it's priced around or the same as the other guys
Yeah.
because we think it's worth it." If they think it's worth it, other people will see the value in it, I think.
Yeah, so let's try and come up with like a magical price point here. If they want to try and make a more powerful portable system, I would say you definitely need to be hanging around that $400 mark for sure. It it
If
can't be much more than that because
if
you are going to start losing people. I feel like.
Yeah, it needs to look good on the portable screen, and then if the rumors are correct, it needs to look good when it's blown up to your
Yeah,
TV.
yeah,
Um, I think the 400. I think 399,
Yeah,
399.99. I think right around there.
yeah. I think that's a fair price. Now, what could happen is we know what you remember what happened with the 3DS, their ambassador program
Yeah,
and stuff. They launched the 3DS. I can't remember the price. Was it? Can you remember?
it was the price of a Wii. It was
Okay,
250.
and
I remember because people are like,
yeah,
you're charging that for a
yeah,
handheld.
and that was a lot. And they had to like double back and be like, "Whoa, sorry,
Well,
everybody."
I would also say that the other problem with the 3DS
Yeah,
wasn't necessarily at the price point. It was like, besides Ocarina of Time 3D and the Street Fighter port,
yeah,
the 3DS had like no launch support at
that's true.
all.
It's true.
They had no launch support, and then they continued to not have launch support for a decent amount of time after that.
Yeah. And then it really did start doing well. I think in
Yeah,
like in 2012 it finally started kicking off.
yeah.
I believe that's when Fire Emblem Awakening came out, was in 2012, I
Uh-huh.
think. So yeah, it started doing really well, but like we're seeing a trend here, right? Weak launches.
Yeah,
This has got to be fixed. And I
and
so far it
they say
yeah.
they're trying to. They want to make sure they have a good launch lineup for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Like the weak launch like lineup has been a problem, but they've said specifically that they've been delaying this like launch because they want to have a good lineup. And
Yeah.
if that ends up being the case, all is forgiven on my side.
Yeah,
If they, if they come out of the gate with, a Zelda game, I think Mario is not going to be a launch title. It seems like through interviews that they've been working on it, and maybe that would be like later in the year.
yeah.
But, Pikmin 4, we know that's in development. Um,
And pretty almost close to finish if Miyamoto was
yeah,
speaking literally.
yeah.
Like
And Metroid is hanging out there in the way out there. And then there's rumors that an F-Zero game is being made by Retro Studios.
don't get your hopes up, dude.
And that's when you start kind of going down the rabbit hole. But I would love to believe that they have this amazing lineup of games. And if it's a portable device and that's their main console, all of a sudden we have a vast potential
Yeah,
library here because we're going to have all developers that were previously split between the Wii U and 3DS. They're all coming together,
yeah.
and we're going to have a
You're
lot
gonna
of
finally
games.
be able to play a Pokemon game on your if the
Yeah,
console handheld hybrids or rumors are true, you're gonna have a Pokemon game you're gonna be able to play on your TV,
yeah,
like a real mainline Pokemon game.
yeah. And that's super exciting. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't explain enough. Like we might finally get our first like HD Pokemon game.
Yeah. Oh
Like
man.
mainline game. I'm not sure if we did we get a HD spin-off game or anything?
Nope. I
Okay.
don't think there was anything on the Wii U.
What about those oh gosh, I don't
Oh,
even know what
The Poke Park Adventures and the Rumbles and
yeah,
the
yeah, the rumbles and
those
stuff.
don't count. Shut up.
I don't even know what those are, to be honest. Oh gosh. So we've talked a lot about the NX just now. Can you think of any other topics real quick before we kind of call it
Um,
quits?
Not that I can think of. I hope they say something soon.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, I have a feeling we get a an announcement date at the end of this 3DS Direct.
Yeah.
I think the 3DS is gonna be all like this 3DS Direct's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a retrospective on the system.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be a big like, and here's our final. We're going out with a bang with Sun and Moon.
All right. You all heard it here, folks. Prediction. Marley has said it live.
That's my prediction. The
That's good.
3DS Direct
Yep.
is our final goodbye to the 3DS. It's going to be a
Yep.
celebration of it. They're going to bring up that Pokemon's, our last big game,
Yep.
and we're going out with a bang with it. And at the end of the direct, we're going to get a date or a hint about when the NX reveal is coming.
Yeah,
That's my final prediction. I'm putting it in the books. You can all send me your money now.
So, yeah, I'm super excited. I hope they do that. So we're gonna kind of conclude it here. I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to talk about your channel real quick.
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube. I'm Marley D. I talk a lot about all sorts of things, games, movies, comic books. I've been doing a lot of Pokemon talk lately on my show Trainer Talk, which I upload every Friday. I talk about different segments. Carson was just on an episode actually.
Hey, that's me.
We did our top 10 Johto Pokemon that we want to get a Lola form, so check that out. Other than that, that's I think pretty much it. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm Rebellious Ewok because some porn star took Marley D.
Oh my gosh.
The D in that one stands for something way different.
Oh, wow. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Now remember, on Friday at 8 p.m., Nate and I are going to be live streaming Wind Waker. Nate's never played Wind Waker before, so hopefully it could be a good time. So come check it out. And also, try and get hyped for this 3DS Direct. I'm getting excited, but don't get your hopes up because Nintendo likes to dash them against the rocks brutally. All right, everyone. I'm out, and see you at your next save.